Good morning, family, friends, and faculty. Thank you for being a part of the graduation ceremony of the class of 2025. You have all lent a hand and supported us throughout the years, and it is important that you all share in the turning of a new page as we enter a new chapter in our lives. It's been a long time coming, and yet for many of us, both students and loved ones alike, this particular school year went extremely fast. Just yesterday, we were all whitewater rafting down the Nantahala River on our senior class trip, and now we're here celebrating our graduation. Every student at O'Neill is assigned an email address that includes their graduation year. And for 11 years, I've been looking at it and thinking, 2025, ha, that's not a real year. Well, it is, and it's here, and it's right now. Though I think it's safe to say that we wouldn't have made it to this point without the amazing support of everyone present here today. Teachers, parents, coaches, significant others, and friends. All of you were instrumental in our success and survival, not just for this year, but for all of high school. As we leave the nest, I urge all of my now former classmates and Falcons to remember the experiences and lessons learned here and carry them into this new chapter of life. We may no longer be at O'Neill, but Falcons fly forever. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the ceremony.
Good morning. My name is Sandy Boyd. I'm the head of the upper school, and it has been my privilege to serve the upper school students, faculty, and families this school year. Thank you to Morgan Lewis, this year's salutatorian, for delivering our invocation. And thank you to our upper school chorus and Mr. Lucier for singing our alma mater. It is my task to welcome you to this occasion. Welcome to each of you today. We are glad that you are here to participate in this rite of passage ceremony. Rites of passage, as Joseph Campbell notes, and if you'll recall, I mentioned Joseph Campbell at the beginning of the year, and so this is coming full circle. You all remember this, right? Good. Rites of passage are important markers of transition from one role to the next. From being seen as an O'Neill student to being seen as a responsible young adult and young alum, ready to take on the new challenges of the world. This ceremony, if you allow it, will leave an everlasting and indelible imprint on the psyche, will not be forgotten, and most importantly, will be understood and embraced by the community at large. You may leave today as a changed person. Despite these changes, some things will remain the same. The lessons, morals, and values that have been imparted to you during your time here will remain. Some of these lessons are but seeds that will bloom at unexpected times. Take note when they do, and perhaps write a note to your teacher. Always be true to yourself, and as Madame Kegel would remind us, practice kindness. Finally, I hope you know that you are always welcome here. Life may take you down disparate and unexpected paths. Wherever you roam, you always have a home here. You are always invited and welcome to come back and be part of our O'Neill community. Once a Falcon, always a Falcon. I would now like to welcome to the podium valedictorian Charlotte Mills for a few remarks.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Mills, as Mr. Boyd said, and I am honored to be the valedictorian for the class of 2025. Now, I've been at O'Neill since 6th grade, and while some of these people have been here since pre-K 3 and I haven't been there for as long as that, I've definitely changed a lot since 6th grade. I used to be extremely awkward, unsure of my place in the school. I felt I didn't say the right things, or act the right way, or wear the right clothes. But as I progressed through my years at O'Neill, I found myself becoming more and more sure of who I was and how I fit into the school. At the start of every school year, I challenged myself to be more outgoing, more open to others, and more comfortable with myself. And in senior year, I feel that I finally reached this version of myself that knows who I am. And earlier this year, as all my classmates presented their pledge talks about how they grew at O'Neill, a lot of them said similar things. They felt at the beginning of high school they were unsure of who they were and where they fit in, but they grew to be confident in themselves throughout their time in high school, through school trips, clubs, sports, or traveling. While they were in high school, they experienced the same growth that I did, and that perhaps everyone does at this point in their life. But at O'Neill, we were able to grow up with each other and influence each other in big and in small ways. I can say with confidence that everyone graduating today has shared experiences with their peers that have shaped who they are. As a collective group, we've shared bad experiences such as COVID, turbulent administration changes, and the day Flick ran out of chocolate cake. But as a cohesive group, we've also shared many great experiences. The people I stand before, including Morgan Lewis, who mentioned this earlier, have shared how they love class trips, especially the senior class trip we took to Nantahala in the mountains. All of us traversed down the river together, even if some of us went down the wrong way. We all played Paranoia, ate Catherine's mom's cookies, and suffered the long bus ride together playing bathroom roulette. And thank God no one actually used the bus bathroom this year. In the past year, we've participated in senior events like Senior Sunrise, Senior Buddies, and a Christmas party, all planned by our class president, Victoria, with a little bit of help from her friends. We joined clubs, we played sports, and we went on field trips together to study wolves, see art, and compete in Mod UN. We've been stuck in the cafeteria or theater together during storm mornings. We all shared a notes document in Ancient World with Miss Wilder in freshman year, made pottery with Miss G, solved jigsaw puzzles in Miss Viswani's room, and came full circle with Mr. Gemmer's classes in both his first and last year teaching. And in the past couple days, we have all wondered where those photos of ourselves scattered around the high school came from. We grew together here, no matter if we came to O'Neill in pre-K 3 or in junior year. And while we have been here, we have grown together to become the best version of ourselves. In fact, every single person in this room has had an impact on all of us, whether we feel it directly or not. Our teachers, coaches, and families have helped us grow, which allowed us to help each other to grow. So don't forget to thank all of them. We grew because of O'Neill, and so whether in August or September we go off to school in Japan or in North Carolina, California, or Massachusetts, we will all take these parts of ourselves shaped by our classmates at O'Neill and the memories we've made together with us. Because no matter what clubs or sports or classes we were in, whether we participated in all the senior events or none, we are still a part of the O'Neill class of 2025, and we always will be. And though we will go off into the world and grow even more, we'll still always share that part of ourselves with the people we're sitting with on this stage. So, my fellow seniors, as we become graduates, I will leave you with a quote that I found to be helpful, one that has helped me grow into the person I am today. This quote is from Maurice Sendak, author of Where the Wild Things Are. Shout out to Mr. Poole, that was his favorite childhood book. I first heard this advice in the Anthropocene Reviewed, a book I read for AP Lang. In his last public appearance, Sendak said, "Live your life, live your life, live your life." Class of 2025, we've lived our lives here in high school, and now it's time for us to live life elsewhere. To all of you, go accept every opportunity you can. Go surf in Malibu, or play collegiate soccer, or travel to Australia to see Robert Irwin, or buy tickets to see a concert with people you haven't met yet, or cheer the Big Ten game, or play some rounds of golf, or visit the Ben Franklin House in Boston, or plan reunions. Go live your life and grow over and over and over again with different people and in different places and for different reasons. Whether you become a doctor, an architect, a pilot, or a biomedical engineer, remember that the rest of us will be looking on, proud that you grew alongside us and proud that we had the privilege of growing alongside you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charlotte. I have the honor and privilege of introducing our commencement speaker today. Mr. John Tawes is a graduate of Duke University with a bachelor's degree in comparative area studies with a focus in Mideast and China. Mr. Tawes spent his post-grad year abroad in Taiwan at the Mandarin Training Center before he began his career at Raytheon, living in Kansas and supporting the development of projects involving special mission aircraft. Mr. Tawes came to Fletcher in 1992 to design, manufacture, and distribute machinery for technical textiles. He is an avid, lifelong enthusiast for aviation and motorcycles. I am proud to welcome Mr. Tawes to the stage for our commencement address.
Good morning, welcome. We'll be through this in no time so you can get on with the celebration. Welcome students, faculty, family, friends of O'Neill, fellow members of the board. It is an honor to gather here today to recognize the achievements and promotion of this class of 2025. Yesterday I had the distinct pleasure of attending the upper school awards ceremony. I was astonished by the mutual support and genuine joy shared by you all and all of the upper school classes for the recognition of the recipients. For you, this may be natural. For the rest of us, once we have experienced the reassuring embrace of tribal unity, we seek it again throughout our careers. You have found it. In 4 years, how many started in pre-K? Mrs. Cutler, Mrs. Johnson? Ms. Cutler? How about that? I've had 2 of those also. And in middle school? And who joined in upper school? All right. Terrific careers. It is no secret, and this is, I was explaining that I need to leave some advice behind. Since you now know that I'm in the textile machinery business, and I started that business or joined it in 1992 when the ink on the NAFTA treaties was just getting dry, I clearly have a different vision as to what a career looks like, and my vocations or avocations are about the same. It's no secret that I have long been a fan of velocity. Velocity on the ground and in the air, for me is freedom. I began flying actually when I was at O'Neill, first with a rocket club, and then before I could drive a car, I was flying airplanes. It's freedom of motion, travel, and arrival and departure. For this, I've derived principles that, though unlikely, I apply to my work. And these come from both flying as well as motorcycles. And on the bikes, spend a fair amount of time on the track. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. On a motorcycle, this is the recipe for a fast lap. In life, it translates to deliberate action, which accounts for the people and the environment necessary to support your individual success. Apply your knowledge and passion with deliberate motion, communication, and the reward for your actions, if not assured, will be highly more likely. Slow in, fast out. This is the importance of planning your shots, where to brake, where to bank, and accelerate. It gives a predictable outcome. In life, slow is your planning, goal, situational awareness. Seeing the obstacles and realizing the dream. Never lose sight of the goal, and you will arrive successful. Never lose sight of your dream. Know your machine. There was a pilot named Chuck Yeager. Some of you may still remember him. He is a famous aviator, legendary World War II ace, and following the war, a test pilot. He started his career as a mechanic. He did not have a college education. He worked on aircraft for the Air Force, the Army Air Force at that point. And by doing so, he learned all the systems of the aircraft. This allowed him, when he did become a pilot, to push the performance envelope of those aircraft far beyond what anybody thought could be done. And on occasion, it saved his life when things didn't work out the way they were supposed to. Knowing your tools, knowing how you are to get there, knowing what sits behind, and we all carry these rascals these days, what this is important, because this is a limiting factor unless you understand what sits behind. I would say to you, don't use a GPS, get a map. In flying, we call it following the magenta line. It sets itself up, and you fly the magenta line, you get where you're going. The fact is, you never know where you've been, and you don't have much of a vision for it as to where and when you will arrive. Learn to drive a stick shift. There'll be a day not too far in the future that you're going to sit back and work in the back of the car and there won't be a driver. This is happening rather quickly. Fact of the matter is, again, to know the tools, to be a part of the journey, to be a part of your own success will help in keeping your compass straight. And again, I look back at this. This is the first door of mediocrity. In this is simply noise. And it's true in other aspects of our lives too, where technology is now coming in. One of the biggest things I run into in business is when the technology gets in the way of our message. We have an important meeting, we're going to make an important business deal, and the AV fails, the Zoom fails. People can't be there, they can't hook in. It's costly. It's very costly. Understand that through available technology can just as easily hold you from your vision. If you're focused on a phone, then how can you see the broad horizon? And then finally, and if my son Reed is here, he's going to laugh, infamous last words, just watch this. This is a short phrase which details the risk of assumption while aspiring to do something impressive. Assumption is the self-inflicted injury to success. And just watch this bespeaks also of the pride which drives the dagger of fortune. If I can leave anything with you, that is one of the most important items. Be humble, be aware of your fellow man, and go about your own success. You embody the success of the school. Your enthusiasm is infectious, your leadership is priceless, and scholarship inspirational. Take this moment. Be still. Look around. There are a series of moments in life, moments of success, promotion, and graduation, moments of feint, pivot, and change, all which demand an answer to the question, what is next? Today, this day is yours. Enjoy and seize the opportunity inherent in your success, and never lose your grip on the friends and fraternity you have forged at O'Neill. I grew up, along with some other families in the area, with the notion of an independent school being discussed over the table. That was over 54 years ago. And now, 48 graduating classes later, the institution remains strong and has become a launch pad for the success of her graduates. Though now some time ago, I remember well my own career at O'Neill, and have always looked for an opportunity to speak of some people who made a big difference for me. Jim Miles, Amy Roleri, Joy Council, Missy Quiss, Pete Kreitzer, Jim Reed, and in the class that I did the absolute worst in, Mrs. Whitman, who drove into this head the discipline in math that I use every day of my life. There are also those who stepped in to help at a time of great crisis in my life, taking a young man at pre-K 3, and that was Julie Johnson. And he has just graduated and will be pursuing a career in aerospace as an aerospace engineer. I am thankful indeed for the school and for all those who contribute to this community's success. At the reception following this ceremony, you will find what is called a quoich with your name on it. The quoich is a traditional Scottish cup. It is to be shared in welcome and as a symbol of camaraderie and friendship. Today, I use the quoich to welcome you, the class of 2025, to the growing legion of O'Neill alumna and alumnus. Your school is unique, and you can be proud. We hope that you will return soon and often to lend your knowledge, your influence, and resources to the next generation of Falcons. Congratulations and well done.
Mr. Tawes, trustees, faculty, parents, and friends, it is my pleasure to present to you the O'Neill School Class of 2025. As we go through their names, please hold your applause until each student is properly introduced. Assisting in the presentation of her son's diploma is Julia Ambersley, current O'Neill faculty member. Christian August Ambersley. Noah Winston Bass. Amina Batterjee. Charlie Williams Bunder. James Devin Burlinson. Haley Ann Crow. Travis Allen Dudy. Catherine Ryan Finsterly. Assisting in the presentation of his daughter's diploma is Donnie Goins, current member of the O'Neill Board of Trustees. Kaylee Rachel Goins. Abigail Elizabeth Jones. Caroline Elizabeth Lee. Morgan Page Lewis. Jack Ethan Manning. Campbell Estelle Medford. Elise Spears Milligan. Assisting in the presentation of his daughter's diploma is Stuart Mills, former chairman of the O'Neill Board of Trustees. Charlotte Sarah Lee Mills. Oh. Gavin Christopher Nat. Max Thomas Pashley. Assisting in the presentation of her son's diploma is Amira Pavlovich, current O'Neill faculty member. Andrew Ryan Pavlovich. Carson Patrick Pusser. Assisting in the presentation of her son's diploma is Heather Raybon, current O'Neill faculty member. Gavin William Raybon. Jacob Bruno Shepard. Ava Louise Sonia. Michaela Nolani Stone. Ava Taylor Walker. Assisting in the presentation of her son's diploma is Lynn Walters, former member of the O'Neill Board of Trustees. Christopher Bryant Walters. Victoria Trinity York. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the O'Neill graduates of 2025. Graduates, you may switch your tassels. Sit down. All right, you may sit. I would like to welcome our Ms. Beth Garrison to the stage to deliver some closing remarks. Ms. Garrison has been our senior class lead advisor this school year. We're grateful for her to deliver these closing remarks. Ms. Garrison?
Sorry. There we go. Okay. Closing remarks. I had to think about this because what I'm about to say will be the last words of instruction from a faculty member for this class. First, let me thank you all for giving us the opportunity to teach your graduate. It has truly been an honor and why we get up in the morning. I will now take a cue from a pillar of my tenure, Beth Whitman. Some of you may remember her. I'm going to try and move this very carefully. I'll begin with the cliche, congratulations, you all deserve it. Congratulations from us all, the faculty, I mean that. But continue with the cliche, we wish you good luck. Nope, that's just too easy. Instead, I will say, we wish you sense. Sense to remember who you are and how you got here, the hard work that it took to be in this place. Sense to remember those very close to you that have made this moment possible. Sense to remember the name of your TAs so that you may give them those Starbucks cards that you so graciously give us that they will so appreciate, that could get that 80 to an 85. Sense to remember to be at that 8 o'clock anthropology class, no matter what was going on the night before, fully prepared and in the front row, at least the first 3 rows. Sense to remember to call your parents before your debit card is at 0. Don't text them that, please. They will want to know how you are, what you're doing. They will miss you terribly. They will miss your voice. They will miss that door closing when you come home late. They will miss you very much. Keep in touch with them. We'll also want to know how you are, how you're doing, and should you need help at any time, as has just been stated, we are here. We will be here to help you anytime. So now, good people, go, do good things, bust through those doors, make the change that we are all looking forward to. Thank you for being who you are. It truly has been a pleasure. Okay. Be outside. Outside there are refreshments. Please join the class once they depart. Thank you.